athlete and you have to run 800 meters, it's just a few minutes. You train for this for years, and then in that 2 minutes you must perform on a peak level. How do they do that in sports?
The actual situation or the state of affairs to which this project was a response was one in which people felt a kind of lack in their training. Conservative teachers are perfectly able to teach their students to play an instrument well, but oftentimes people do not feel so much in control when they have to perform at a moment when it really matters.
And that's why this Studylab laboratory it has begun as an idea to experiment with these special insights in training and practicing for sportsmen. In what way are they useful for music students here?
There are strong similarities between audition training and training under pressure, where we were involved in at our faculty. In several ways it has relevance for music and music students and for the Studylab project. For instance, imagery, imagining yourself behaving in the way you want, training under pressure, coping with fear and anxiety, and it are all situations in which sport performance will come, but they are as relevant as possible for musicians too.
At the very beginning, we will introduce to them the whole idea, and after that they get the music for a half recital, which they have to perform within 10 days. The music is for their level on the, let's say, pretty tough side. They have really to practice these 10 days, and then they have a real performance, a half recital, which they have to play.
It was quite hard in the beginning, I think, that normally you go to your teacher with a piece and he has a lot of ideas how to play it. And now we had to do it ourselves, but we are not really used to do that ourselves.
No.
I expected to have a lot of support from different people, but it's not really like that. It's more that they give ideas to practice in different kind of ways, and then we have to choose it ourselves.
We offer students ideas of how to practice, like let's say trying to envision your performance, practicing in periods, reducing the intensity of training just before the performance. So there are various techniques that we want them to try, or at least that we offer them.
The imagery experiment was organized in such a way that every student had 3 conditions. A condition in which he, at a normal way, studied a short piece of music, and he played it just after seeing the music half a minute, and then he had to play prima vista. Then he had the opportunity to practice it for 5 minutes, and then returning and playing it again. Yeah, that is well. And most of the time, you do it better the second time than the first time. Again, he read the music of an masterpiece, 30 seconds, played it for 1 minute, and then imagining that he was playing that piece of music. And the third condition was a control condition in which in the 5 minutes that they practiced the music in reality or mentally, they did an activity completely unrelated to the music and preventing them thinking over the music or making images of it and things like that. And then returning again and playing the piece for the second time.
In the 5 minutes we had, I didn't think of how did the room smell, but really focused on the piece, and the notes were not a problem. It was not that hard, but I really focused on how am I going to make this interesting? How will I make it sound? What image do I have with this piece of music? What message do I want to say with it? And oh, here I can do this, and here I can do this, and make it more interesting. And I think I or some musicians often lack. When you start practicing a piece, you focus on the technical things, but sometimes you forget the musical message you want to say.
It is a quite relaxed way of practicing as well.
Yeah.
Because we as wind players, it's quite heavy to play really a lot of hours a day. But during the imagery you are not playing. It's a nice way of practicing when you can't play.
What we wanted to do was to demonstrate them as vividly as possible the possibilities of using imagery. That they would experience one time at least how it is to do that. If it would be a successful experience, then it would stimulate them to apply imagery also in their normal practice.
My normal practice routine is not so structured. It's just when do I have time to practice, then I start to practice and just play what I have, and then try to make it on the overall better. But now it's really in 10 days you have to set your goal. I want to do this with a piece and I have to practice so and so to reach it. It's a bit more high pressure, more structured way of studying. That's why this is a wonderful project, to really shorten the time that I'm practicing and reach the goals more easily. You learn to stand stronger in your own shoes. And maybe it's what I needed right now.